Trust is a very big commodity, and it's something that doesn't just come easily in our communities. We see people scamming each other. Here we are essentially introducing structure into a space that has been historically operated without it. And that takes education, trust building, and consistency over time.
Well, thank you for joining me today for another episode at Live Campus, a platform where we look for African solutions to African problems. And today I'm very excited because I'm joined by someone who has brought a solution to a problem that we've had for a very long time in Africa. It's an ongoing problem. And this is not the first time that he's joining me. He has joined me before, and we were talking about this as an idea. You know, they were still working on it, but now it's a reality. It's out there. The platform is ready. And we are joined by Tatenda from Shoka Connect to walk us through the platform that they have. We understand we've got problems in Africa, and we are looking for people who are ready to take on those problems and find solutions for us. And it's time for us to stop looking for solutions from somewhere else and bring on our own solutions, because these problems are ours. They're affecting us. So we know exactly what the impact is. Someone else from another country or from another continent coming into Africa, they will work on things, but they don't have that personal experience of experiencing failing systems and things like that. So if we step in that space and take ownership of our continent, I think this is what life is all about. This is where we are now. So without wasting more time, Tatenda, welcome back for the second time. Can you please just quickly introduce yourself to the audience? Tell us who you are and what you're about.
Ezra, thanks for having me again. I think I'm beginning to enjoy being on the live on the podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
So just a short introduction. My name is Tatenda Mapesa. I'm an engineer by training, an entrepreneur by experience, and we are currently building Shoka Connect. And basically the idea came from seeing too many deals in our community fall apart. Not because people in our community are bad, but mostly because there is no system that is protecting those transactions. So what we are basically building here, we are focused on having something which was missing, that is that missing layer of trust. Thank you again, Ezra.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Tatenda. This is an interesting conversation. Normally, I would just let things flow, but because we are talking today, we're talking about money, and we're talking about trusts. And those are really important things, and they are the things that makes the world go around. So if things are going well, that means there's money somewhere and there's trust. And if things are not going well, that means there's no money and most likely there's no trust in doing business. Okay, so the first episode when you came onto the podcast the first time, you had an idea that you were working on, and this is a platform that will help individuals in the diaspora. Specifically, you're starting with South Africa. I'll let you explain properly.
Okay.
But that was an idea at the time, and now
Yes.
you have officially launched. So I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked you the first time. What is Shoka Connect, and who is it for?
All right. So Shoka Connect is a B2B marketplace. When I say B2B, it's business to business. That's where we are starting. It's a marketplace for basically doing business from end to end transactions, starting from finding or discovering a partner to work with to the completion of that business or to the completion of that transaction. So instead of just being a platform where people can find each other and then go and perform those transactions on the outside, they are doing all the transactions within the platform so that the transaction is completed within the that platform. And the reason why that is so is because what we realized, as I mentioned earlier, is that in our community, trust, it's not just in our community, in the community actually, everywhere. Trust is a very big commodity. And it's something that doesn't just come easily. And most of the deals that have happened in our communities, we see people, what can I say, scamming each other, and people not getting exactly what they would have asked to say, I want my house built, and someone disappears with the money. So what we then did with Shoka Connect is, all right, people are scamming each other. People are doing all these things and running away. You know, I told you about a story of one of my directors who actually lost money while doing a transaction, and he chose to do that transaction with a Zimbabwean, whereas there were 3 or 4 other guys that he was actually had been given by the platform where he had found those people, and he lost money during that process. So with Shoka Connect now, what we are trying to do is to reduce that level of scamming each other, or those risks, to reduce those risks. We can't remove the risks completely. They are never going to be zero risks, but we are reducing those risks so that as diaspora businesses. So when I say diaspora businesses, it doesn't matter where in the diaspora you are at. You might be a Zimbabwean in the UK, you might be a Zimbabwean in Malawi, or might be a Malawian in Nigeria. You own a diaspora-owned business if you are not in your country. So what we are doing with Shoka Connect is then help people, or people that are in the diaspora, to do business with each other so that we can, number one, keep money within the community. So if we are Zimbabwean and we are in South Africa, we want to do business, to put Zimbabwe, we are also wanting to put Zimbabweans first. Let's put our own first, so that when I've got a business deal or a project that I want to do, I want that before I go outside the community, before I start looking elsewhere, I look within my Zimbabwean community. If I can find someone who can do that project that I want done from my own community, what that does is then help keep money within the community, empower the other person. And at the end, it doesn't end there. As we circulate the money within our community, we are enabling each other. We are making each other better. We create more employment within the countries that we are in. Like, let's say a Zimbabwean owns a business in South Africa. The more business deals that he has, he's going to employ more South Africans. So it's not just for the Zimbabweans now. Now you are also employing South Africans. They are going to benefit with doing business within the Zimbabwean community. Because as your business grows, you need to employ people. You are not just going to employ Zimbabweans. You are going to employ other nationalities as well within your business. And then on the Zimbabwean side, while we are doing business as Zimbabweans amongst each other and giving each other those projects and making sure that we are doing those projects with trust, we are making sure that at the end of the day, when the deal is completed, both sides are happy. What then that does is to make sure that we grow as a community. And Zimbabwe, our economy, it also grows.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said it's a business to B2B platform, business to business platform, right?
Yes.
So what does that look like? So if someone, let's say, is in Zimbabwe, they've got a project that they want done, but they are not a business, but they've got a big project. Let's say they want to build a house. Is that open to them, or will it ever going to be open to a kind of individuals instead of businesses?
At the moment, we have intentionally started it as only B2B. So it's business to business. If you are not a business, you are not going to be able to transact on the Shoka Connect platform. But with time, as we grow, of course, we are going to start by focusing with B2B. But as we grow, we might end up doing B2C as well, because there are big deals that might be needed to be done by by consumers.
Okay, that's good. So the problem that you are solving here, correct me if I'm wrong, the problem that you're trying to solve is the trust issue. Yeah,
Yes.
people are getting into business, and somehow, some of the agreed outcomes are not being reached, or some people are losing money because people are disappearing and stuff like that. So the issue is about trust, and you are saying you're positioning yourself as a trust platform. Yeah, but trust is earned. You don't claim it. You have to earn the trust. So if you are working like with the Zimbabweans, there are a lot of Zimbabweans we have gone through issues with losing money through business transactions. Why should someone trust Shoka Connect? That is the question.
That's a very fair question, Ezra. And I would actually just reframe it slightly. So you shouldn't have to trust us blindly.
Okay.
One, we have designed the platform so that trust doesn't sit on people's words. So you shouldn't trust what I say. Here, when you are on the platform, you are not sending money directly to another person. That's number one. Number two, the funds are secured through a regulated third-party escrow provider. Shoka Connect or its employees are not touching your money. And number three, the payment is only released when the agreed work has been completed. So the trust is not in us as individuals. It's in how the system is actually structured. So because we have lived the same challenges ourselves, we have lost our deposits. We have had some work that was unfinished. We have had agreements that were broken. So we didn't just build this from theory. We built it from experience, knowing that it's difficult to trust a person. So here, I'm not saying trust Tatenda. Trust the system.
Okay. So you mentioned the system that you use, Escrow. Can you explain a little bit for those who don't understand what it means? Because I don't know what it means. What does it mean? How, so it's part of the security that you have put in place in terms of the money side of things. So what does it mean?
All right. So I'm going to try to explain it in layman's terms. I'm also a layman when it comes to escrow things. So, so escrow is when you take money. Well, let's say you are doing. I'm going to explain it using an example. You are doing a deal. One person wants to buy something from you, but then they don't trust that you are going to deliver the thing that they want from you. So without you sending money, and they also don't trust that you are going to give them the money. So let's say you want to buy a car from me. Now, what we then do with escrow, the money that you are supposed to pay, you don't pay it directly to Tatenda. You pay it into an account where it's kept. Now it's no longer anyone's money. It's like no man's land. It's not your money. It's not his money. And until the other person delivers the product that they promised that they are delivering, like a car, to the other person, and the other person agrees that's exactly what they wanted, the money then gets released to the other person, and both parties are happy. So it's a way of keeping the money from either party. No one holds the money between the two transacting parties. It's with someone else who then, when the conditions are met, the money gets released.
Okay, well that's good. So explain it to me a little bit more, using an example of like a business. So let's say I'm a business and I want to be on Shoka Connect. What's the process?
All right. Okay, that's a good one. All right. So you are on Shoka Connect. You have registered your business. You're on Shoka Connect, and you have got a project that you want done. Let's say you're a construction company. You want someone to do. You want someone to do paving. You want to subcontract paving for a project that you have. You go on Shoka Connect, you create the project. You say you want someone who does paving. People bid on that project, and then you select whoever you want. Then you agree on conditions. Then you sign a contract to say, okay, this is what you are supposed to do. Once you have done that, and then you have agreed that now the job can be started. But the person is not going to start the job without seeing that his money has been paid or his deposit. That was usually that's why people want deposit. They want to know that they are covered. So now we are removing that issue of wanting that deposit, because now we are saying the money for the paving or for the first milestone or the second milestone of the paving project, you are paying it before the person starts doing that paving. You put it into Shoka Connect. So you pay, it goes on the platform. And then the other person now, they see that the money is in escrow. They are not able to withdraw it. The other person is also not able to withdraw it. Then they start the job. Once the job is completed and the conditions of the contract have been reached, the money then gets released to the person who has done the job.
So does it work like a project? Because I've got a background in project management. So where you set milestones, where basically, so I'll use an example for like when you're building a house, yeah? You start with the foundation. So once the foundation is finished, that's the first milestone done, yeah? So then I release the money for the foundation to whoever's building. Is that how it works? And then we go to the next stage where they build up to the window level. And once the window level is reached, and myself as a customer, if I'm happy with what the work that is done, then the money is released. Is that correct?
Very correct. Yes, that's very correct.
Okay.
So remember, the projects are different. There are some projects which won't require milestones. So let's say, so that's for the example when there are milestones, when there is a foundation and whatever. So milestones are usually done for bigger projects. So if it's a small project, let's say I just want someone to print T-shirts for me. I'm not going to have that done in milestones. If it's 20 T-shirts, I'm just going to pay for the 20 T-shirts. Once the 20 T-shirts have been delivered to my house, then the money gets released to the business that printed those T-shirts. So that will basically be one milestone, if we want to call it that way.
Okay. So will it be right to say Shoka Connect is the middleman? Or is there another way of looking at it?
I wouldn't want to say Shoka Connect is a middleman, but if we look in simpler terms, it is a middleman, because we connect two businesses that didn't know each other before. That's number one. Number two, so here they've discovered each other. So number one, discovery. Number two, we have verified those businesses that are there. So they should trust each other because they have been verified. They are on Shoka Connect platform. Every business that's there would have been properly vetted and verified. Number three, then we put in the security layer, which is where the escrow part comes in. So that's to make sure that whatever transaction that these two businesses, which have discovered each other on the platform, then do business. So yeah, we can say we're a middleman, but at the end of the day, as a middleman, we are not just connecting two people. We are making sure that whatever transaction that they start, they do it. We are in control. If they do it through the platform, it's secure and it's from end to end transaction. You do it from the beginning of your transaction until both parties say we are happy. That's where Shoka Connect then differs with just being a middleman, because I can connect you with someone, then now I've kind of become the middleman. I can be paid, but Shoka Connect is there until the transaction is completed and you agree. Yeah.
So are you at all involved in terms of looking, once the transaction has been initiated, right? People have agreed that they want to work together through your platform. What role does Shoka Connect play in terms of monitoring what's happening within the project? Kind of like
Uh,
quality control. Is there any
I-
ways for like quality control, monitoring the whole process? Are people delivering what they're saying they're supposed to be delivering?
okay. So in terms of that, we are very deliberate about this as well. So I've got so to put. I'm going to change your question a little bit. There's someone who asked it from the webinar that we did. They asked. It was mostly about quality. It was about guaranteeing the quality of what
Yeah.
the other person then does. So because we are a platform and we are very deliberate about this, we are trying not to artificially guarantee quality. What we are guaranteeing here, what we are bringing here is to say, you come onto our platform. One, you are going to find verified participants there. Number two, you are going to find structured payments. Number three, you are going to make sure Shoka Connect makes sure that you have got structured agreements. And then at the end, so the quality, you determine the quality. You would have agreed on the quality in terms of the agreement part there. But then if the other person then does not deliver on the quality that has been agreed, we then institute a fair dispute resolution process where we then, what we then also do is to encourage businesses in there as part of their agreement to include warranties in their agreement. And then we facilitate that within the platform. So instead of making promises that we can't enforce to say, okay, you are going to be the quality that you are going to get is 100%. What we are doing is we are creating the conditions where quality is more likely to be the standard
Okay.
and the risk is
Okay.
reduced.
Okay. No, that's good. So you talked about verification and verifying the all the businesses that are registered on Shoka Connect. What's the process of verifying that these people are legit and they will produce, whatever they are saying they do?
So what we do, we take verification very seriously because you see that's where the trust starts. That verification layer. So we have got a layered approach to verification. Number one, we've got identity verification. Number two, business validation. And then number three, supporting documentation. So depending on what type of business is registering, there are some businesses which we will require them to have insurance if they are to register on that. Let's say a tree felling business. If you are to register on Shoka Connect, for us to know that you need to be fully registered and also make sure that you have got insurance in case you cut a tree and it falls on top of someone's house. So here, what we do, the focus on the verification is to make sure that regardless on the type of business, we look at what's needed in their industry. If they need to be registered somewhere, they have to be registered. So here is the goal of us doing this verification is basically to reduce one, anonymity, and then number two, to give people confidence in who they are dealing with. Because we don't want
Okay.
someone to come on Shoka Connect and find someone and then a tree falls on their house and then at the end of the day they don't have insurance. So that's the whole purpose of our verification process. And most importantly now, our verification process is not fully automated. We've deliberately we put human oversight in the process so that decisions are deliberate. And beyond that, the trust then continues to grow. It continues to build through the behavior of the businesses over time, because on the platform itself, you'll be able to see the transaction histories of the businesses, consistency and their reputation. People are going to rate them on the platform as well. So it won't just be about claiming being perfect. It's us reducing that risk and making credibility feasible.
Okay. Oh, that's good. Thank you. Um, let's talk about conflict resolution. Obviously, in business, people get together, they agree on what they agree, but it happens that someone is not happy with part of the process.
Yes.
How do you help as Shoka Connect? What's your role in those situations?
Okay. So I would like to posit that disputes are part of any real marketplace.
Mm.
And the difference here is how you handle them. So on Shoka Connect, everything is structured upfront. We've got scope, we've got deliverables, and we've got expectations. So if there is a disagreement, it goes through our in-platform dispute process where both sides submit evidence and then we mediate. Then, if it's not resolved there, it escalates to independent arbitration under AFSA, Arbitration Foundation of Southern Africa. And I think most importantly, the funds of that deal, of that milestone, they remain secured in escrow until the matter is resolved. So instead of informal conflict with no protection, here there's a clear and fair process once a dispute arises.
Okay. All right, but that is really good. Okay, so what would you cost? What would it cost me to be on the platform as a business? How much is it going to be? Do I have to pay to be on the platform? Is it a monthly subscription? How does it work?
Okay. So if we go back to our previous podcast, Ezra, you remember where I said my goal is to see, number one, Zimbabweans collaborating with each other. So remember when we started building this platform, it was mainly to make sure that Zimbabweans collaborate with each other in a secure and trusted way, right?
Mhm.
So in order to encourage that, we have then kept our model very simple. We have made sure that we don't have any monthly subscriptions. So you only pay when business or a transaction is successfully completed on the platform. So here it's a transaction-based fee, and it's transparent and adjusted by job type and job size. So it keeps it accessible while also aligning our incentives, hours, so that we only win when our users have successfully completed their transaction.
All right, no, that is really good. Right, so the final question I have, well, I say final, there might be a little bit more depending on how you
All
answer
right.
this question.
Yes.
Obviously, you are there to help with the trust issue, which has been ongoing for years, as far as I can remember growing up. You hear stories of people going into business and things don't go well, people
Yep.
run away with people's money, and we talk a lot about finding solutions.
Yep.
And to me, this sounds like a really good solution. If everything is successful and the platform is successful and business are being transacted the way they should be, then everyone is walking away happy in an ideal situation. And hopefully that will be the case. Right.
Yes.
And going back to the issue of trust, you are a Zimbabwean, I'm a Zimbabwean. The
Yes.
issue we've had all these years is trusting each other as Zimbabweans. Right.
Mm.
So now you're
Yes.
coming to me and you're saying, okay, I've got this platform. Trust me with your money and all that. You've got obviously explained about the Escrow, but I'm sure there will be someone listening who will be asking, okay, what stops you and your team to just get up and go? If, let's say, business is booming, there's people, you are holding a lot of deposits from different projects, and you shut down and you go, what stops you from that?
Wow. I'd promised myself that I was not going to be laughing a lot today, but now you've just
Yeah.
so. Wow. This is a very important question that you have asked here. So what we have done here when we were building Shoka Connect, we built safeguards in place. And when you think about these safeguards, we thought about them in layers. So we've got 3 layers when it comes to these safeguards. So there's the financial layer, the process layer, and the transparency layer. The financial layer, funds are held securely in escrow. That's number 1. Number 2, the process layer. There is clear scope, clear milestones, and clear deliverables. That's number 2. And then there is the transparency layer. Everything is documented on the platform. So you asked, what then stops us from running away with the money? So here is the most important part, which is answering your question. I said funds are held securely in escrow. So what we then did to make sure that people asking that similar question, they are then given peace of mind, is that we ourselves are not holding or controlling any of the user funds. They are sitting within a regulated escrow environment, which keeps the financial layer independent from the platform. So even if you remove us from the equation, the structure is still designed to protect the user, because now what we did, we then implemented or we then partnered with a FSP, financial service provider, a third part which we are using, which is regulated under the South African FSCA regulations, to make sure that we don't have control over people's money. We are the platform. We are just making sure that people are transacting through our platform.
Okay, that will help me to sleep better at night, knowing that not one person has control, like in terms of like they can just wake up one day and think, well, I don't have enough money to send home for Christmas, so I'm gonna take from this pot and I'll return it later. And this is how things happen, and this is how things fall apart, because you will have access to that money, and something happens in your personal life, you will probably just say, okay, let me take this for now. I'll return it later. And then later never comes and you keep taking. So that was the question I really wanted to highlight and understand, where does the money sit? Who has overall control of the money? And if Tatenda is not there tomorrow, can people still get their money and get paid and business carries on? That is important for everyone to know who's interested in this. But other than that, no, I think that is really, really good. Is there anything else that you think people should know about this platform?
About this platform, so it's something that I wanted to talk about. I was hoping that you would ask me this question actually. Because we launched, is it last week or the week before, we did a live launch, and there have been some challenges after the launch that we actually noticed. And one of the biggest challenge that we realized actually throughout the whole process was not building the technology itself. It was shifting it's shifting people's behavior. Remember, here now we are asking people to move from a system that they are used to, informal relationship-based deals, to something that is more structured, where you can do a business with someone that you have never seen before. And even when people have had bad experience before, there's still that natural tendency to say, I'm going to do it the usual way. So here we are realizing that the challenge is not awareness. It's actually adoption. Because here we are essentially introducing structure into a space that has been historically operated without it. And that takes education, trust building, and consistency over time. So now I think people need to experience the system working before they fully commit to it. And the other challenge has actually just been balancing trust and scale. We want to grow quickly, but then in a trust-based platform, one bad experience can actually damage credibility. So we have also just decided that, you know what, let's deliberately grow a little bit slower than what we initially wanted. And then once people understand the value, once people's behavior shifts, once people knows that this is what this is about, then we can start moving as quickly as we would want. Because at the end of the day, behavioral change, I think I'm forgetting the name of the book, but then they were saying you need 4 weeks of doing the same thing. Is it 4 weeks? Or yeah, I think 4 weeks of doing the same thing so
Yeah,
that you
changing your
can.
habits, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Then the behavior can change. But then now,
Yeah.
once it does, it creates much stronger outcomes.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is like sometimes you hear about this platform, you hold back
Mm,
to let other people go first, see how
yes.
that works out, and then after that, I'll step in. What would you say to someone who's thinking of that?
I think it's sometimes I was talking to a brother of mine. He was telling me about the hare and the tortoise story.
Mm,
So sometimes those who start usually get the bigger benefits than those who then follow behind. But then at the end of the day, sometimes those who start, they end up like if you hear that hare and the tortoise story, there is a point where the hare then says, let me sleep because I'm way ahead of the tortoise. But the
yeah,
tortoise was consistent in what he was doing. He started slow and then he was consistent. At the end of the day, he managed to reach the destination before the hare because the hare had just slept and said, I'm way ahead. But
relax.
then because of
Yeah,
consistency, the tortoise then went. So for those people that are saying, let me see how it goes, fair enough. You can actually do that. See how other people can transact on the platform. Make sure other deals can also be conducted on the platform. But well, the platform is free. You have no reason not to join the platform. Just join and see other people doing transactions. And actually, I think we've got the first 3 months. We have said we are removing the bulk of the transaction fees, and people can transact for free on the platform. So it's up to
hey,
them. Join the platform. See how other people are doing their business. If you then get convinced to transact, please feel free. I can assure you, this system, it's one of the best that I have ever seen in the world. I'm not
yeah.
just blowing the
Oh,
horn here, but
yes. Listen, I wouldn't blame you if you blow your own horn because it's it's always very interesting when you because when I spoke to you, like I said, it was an idea,
Mm,
and then I listened to the webinar a few
yes,
days ago
mm,
for the live launch, and I was sitting there thinking, this is amazing,
mm,
to think of something, start working on it, and actually stay consistent to the point where you then give it to the public as this is the product.
yes,
This is what I've been working on. It is amazing, and I hope that people will look at this as we've been working informally for a very long time,
we have.
and yes, some deals have worked out fine, but the stories I hear more is of people who have been disappointed,
Mm,
and we talk a lot about Africa lacking like structures and frameworks that actually works. And this is something that will help people to transact and do business in a professional and kind of secure way, really, from what I can what I can see. I've been onto your website
Mm.
and I've looked at I've looked at things, and I've listened to the webinar. I've listened to the questions that people were asking regarding the the platform, and I was satisfied with the answers that I got from there. And also today you've highlighted more for me. So I've got for me personally, I've got a better understanding of what you guys are trying to do, and hopefully that those people who are listening now, they will also have
Mm.
a similar kind of understanding. However, if there's someone who would like to understand more, ask kind of questions
Mm.
to ask someone questions, do you have a mechanism of taking those questions and answering them? What's the process of communicating with your customers?
Well, so because we are still a very small organization, we are also very intentional about making sure that we communicate with whomever wants to communicate with us. So what we have done, we have got a dedicated line, which within 24 hours, if you email it, you get a response. So if you send your email to info@shokaconnect.com, guaranteed you will get a response from there. Whatever question that you may have, whatever worries you might have that you want to be assured about, you will get your response.
Okay, that is good. Thank you very much. Um, I don't think I've got any more questions apart from one. I keep saying I've got one more, isn't it?
Yes.
They
Yes.
keep coming. Okay, cool. So this, from your conversations, and also from our conversations, and also from listening to the webinar,
Mm.
you have been talking a lot about Zimbabwean. So this is something for Zimbabweans. Yeah. Uh, is it specifically just for Zimbabweans, or because we have in Zimbabwe, we got a lot of people from different countries who are in Zimbabwe, and some of them have got businesses that are registered in Zimbabwe, but they are not Zimbabweans. So is this a platform for Zimbabwean businesses, or is it a platform for Zimbabweans? If you're not a Zimbabwean, then you're not on the platform. We need clarification on that.
I always get that question every time I get that question, but the simple answer is no. It's not a platform for Zimbabweans only. It's I think I said it earlier when I was the first question when I was answering the first question that you asked. It's a platform for diaspora businesses to transact securely. So regardless of your nationality, you might be Zambian and you're in South Africa or you are in the UK. As long as you are in the diaspora,
Okay.
you can join on the platform. You have got a business, put your business on the platform. You will be able to do business with other Zambians that are wherever you are. And then eventually you will also, because that's part, remember when we spoke about what are the phases that you are going to be implementing. So the other phase is, okay, that's the next phase that we are actually putting together, is if I'm a Zimbabwean and I'm in South Africa, I should be able, which is not possible now, to do business with other Zimbabwean companies that are in Zimbabwe that are on the platform. If I want something built in Zimbabwe, so I can collaborate with someone, with a Zimbabwean company through the platform. Or if you are Zambian, you can collaborate with a Zambian company through the platform. But the limitation, which we are actually removing, is you can select that you want to do business with Zimbabweans only, right?
Okay.
Or you can say, no, I want to be on the platform, but I don't want to do business with Zimbabweans only. I want to do business with a Zambian company. Then you select Zambian company. And then just say, I'm not limiting. I want to do business with anybody. Then you
University.
also
Yeah.
select that, okay, I'm doing business with any other business, but what the platform remains secure, bulletproof. Oh yeah, new word, bulletproof.
Bulletproof.
And then you do your
Yeah.
transaction safely. But now, very important, we are starting with Zimbabweans in South Africa.
Mhm.
It's not we are not discriminating. We are just starting deliberately with a community that we have been in, that we know the troubles that we have experienced. And because I'm also Zimbabwean, we are starting small. We are starting with our own community. But then
Okay, so
eventually, its phases, we are making sure that every diaspora business can be covered. You can go on
okay.
Shoka Connect and connect with
So
other
is there a
businesses.
timeline in terms of when you'll be opening it up? Obviously, I understand you are a startup. You're still growing. You need to keep things limited for now. It's small for now, so you can manage it and let it grow organically or naturally, whichever way you want to look at it. Um, but is there a timeline in terms of like when you think you gradually open up for anyone to join from any
All right.
country?
So now you can join. Anyone can join from any country, but then you won't be, as
Mm,
long as you're not Zimbabwean in South Africa, you won't be able to transact. But
okay.
uh, we are using a phased approach in how we go about this, in expanding basically. So we are starting with Zimbabweans in South Africa. Then the next phase that we are doing, it's either because the financial rails that are in Zim, connecting with them, it's we have realized we actually wanted to start with it as well. We have realized that we are struggling a bit in terms of the financial systems and all that kind of stuff. We are struggling a bit. But the next phase that we want to go is for people in South Africa to be able to do business with businesses that are in Zimbabwe through the platform, and then the transactions are done through the platform. But there is a lot of regulations that we have to jump through. Then the other phase is to make sure that from moving from just Zimbabweans in South Africa, it grows to Zimbabweans in the diaspora, regardless of the country that you are in. That's an easy part, because if you are in the UK, the financial rails, they are connected with South Africa and all that. That's an easy one. So the US and everything. So that one, we are also, currently it's either or we are doing both. Either we expand, just saying Zimbabweans in all the other countries, you do business within the country that you are in, and then we include Zimbabwe as part of the second phase. So there will be 2A and 2B. And then the third phase would then, now that we are done with with Zimbabweans, we then put in all diaspora businesses, regardless of nationality. If you are in the diaspora, whatever country that you are from, you go on the platform and you can transact within the Shoka Connect platform. And in terms of timelines, by next year, by next year we should be doing phase 2A and or phase 2B. And then after 3 years, we should be doing phase 3. That's where
Okay.
those are the timelines that I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So remember,
No,
we are
that,
also agile, depending on depending on what happens today, tomorrow, or next month. Those plans might change. So we'll just be measuring what's happening on the outside. If it requires us to change our plan, then we change it
yeah.
so that we do something else that's required at that moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. No, that's really good to know. Um, Tatenda, thank you very much. I don't have any more questions. If you don't have anything else, then we can close this up. But yeah, no, it's been good getting
No,
to understand what you guys are doing, and I'm really looking forward to see how this is going to grow and help us to transact and do business, in a professional manner. Really, so thank you very much. I think I will continually like just bring it up for people to know that the platform is there,
yes.
that the service is there, and yeah, hopefully that will help, and the platform will continue to grow. And hopefully we'll see you again when you are ready to open it up to when you go to the next phase, so we
Yeah.
know because we are very much interested in understanding and following up in terms of where this is going, and see where it will end. So thank you very much for your time, Tatenda.
Thanks, Ezra. And the people in the UK have been pushing that they wanted to operate in
We
the
are
UK.
waiting for it.
So,
We are waiting for it. We are waiting for it. So
no, we are trying
that's
to
why
move
I
we are
wanted
trying
to
to
be
move as
clear in
quickly
terms of
as
like,
we are
yeah,
moving as
yeah.
quickly as
No,
possible. We will get there, but
mhm,
then as we start here, we have to be deliberate and make sure that we don't
yeah,
make a mistake. When you are dealing with trust, one wrong move, yeah,
everything derails.
exactly.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
Exactly. So we are
Yeah.
trying to ensure that we don't experience any wrong moves yet.
Okay, perfect.
All
Okay,
right.
thank you very much, guys, for staying with us. And what I would do is I'll post some details for if you want to connect with Shoka Connect. I'll put some details in the description box below. I'll put their website as well. Please visit the platform, have a look around. Like Tatenda said, at the moment it's free for you to actually register and transact. So if you're ready, you've got a business, you're looking for something, or if you just want to see what's there and how it works, please visit the website, and the link is in the description box below. Don't let people walk away with your money now. So if you get into business outside the formal platforms that we are bringing to you guys, then you've got no one else to blame because you've had the information. You know that there's something that you can use. If you are worried, start small. Start small. Find a small project that you want to do. Start small, see how it goes, and then gradually increase your business on Shoka Connect. And the other thing is, it's important to understand that this is an idea and now an actual platform that is homegrown, in terms of like someone sat down and realized that, okay, as Zimbabweans, as Africans, we've got this problem and we need to fix it, which is what we've been crying for over and over again, that we need to take control, we need to take ownership of our problems. And this is a solution. It's an African solution to an African problem. So now that the solution is there, let's get behind it. Let's register on the platform. Let's transact on the platform. Let's work together to make it grow, so that we can actually, like Tatenda said, provide businesses to other people, provide employment to other people as well. That's how we grow as African continent. So yeah, thank you guys, and see you next week.